That's not accurate. It wasn't just, you see, this is the thing, right? In the chapter before, we have chapter 6 where it just says 2 of every animal, right? So let's just quickly take a peek back here in Genesis chapter 6. Verse 19, of every living thing of all flesh you shall bring 2 of every sort into the ship to keep them alive with you. So right there it just says 2, right? Just says 2. It says nothing of 7, but here it says 2. Verse 20, of the birds after their kind, of the livestock after their kind, of every creeping thing of the ground after its kind. 2, again, it's redundant here, 2 of every sort will come to you to keep them alive. So we have it over and over again. If all you had was Genesis chapter 6, then you would think that it's just 2 of every animal. You would not even think of it being 7 of every animal or 7 pairs, and I'll get to that in just a moment because there are different translations, different interpretations. So here's a really good example of how people can read 2 verses. This would be verse 19 and verse 20. 2 of every kind of animal. So here's a good example how Christians could some Christians, and not just Christians, but others as well, can just take 1 or 2, like say, oh, look, the Bible says over here, and the Bible says over there, so I got 2 verses to back me up. I would say not so fast, because you can practice scriptural isolation. It's almost like blinders on a horse. You're focused so much on 1 or 2 different passages, or maybe even more. It could be several different passages, and you blind yourself to what the actual reality is, the truth of it really is. So a lot of people, they could just read Genesis chapter 6 and they'd say, well, it says 2. It says 2 of every animal, right? Every animal. So again, a good example of how somebody can overemphasize and practice scriptural isolation, tunnel vision, if you will, and they can so-called prove that Noah just had 2 of every animal without acknowledging the next chapter, which says 7 or 7 pairs.